Out at our ranch cabin, we're miles from the nearest paved road. It's where my 15-year-old daughter, Lily, feels safe to ride horses, paint sunsets, and just be a kid. So when the local lake HOA started expanding their authority onto private land, we laughed. We're not in their HOA. We didn't think they'd be dumb enough to try anything out here. We were wrong. One Saturday evening, Lily was in the barn brushing her horse while I grilled dinner. Then came the sound of tires on gravel. 2 black SUVs rolled up, kicking up dust. 3 men in dark compliance uniforms jumped out. One shouted, "Cabin inspection. Step aside. We have orders to detain the minor." Before I could respond, the tallest one flashed a fake-looking badge and said, "HOA enforcement. She's coming with us. Now." I saw their hands hovering over holstered pistols. My stomach dropped. They weren't just bluffing. But they didn't know one crucial thing. For weeks, the FBI had been investigating this exact group. After an earlier threat note we'd found on our porch, "HOA kids must comply." The Bureau had quietly wired my property with cameras and asked me to act normal. If they came back, I was to keep them talking. I glanced at Lily, who had frozen, clutching her horse's reins. "Stay put," I told her, then looked back at the fake cops. "You're trespassing. This isn't HOA property." "That kid is in violation," the leader barked. "We're taking her back to the compound. Step away." "You sure you want to do that?" I asked. My voice was calm, but my thumb was already pressing the emergency button on the small transmitter in my pocket, the one the FBI had given me. One of the men reached for Lily's arm. That's when it happened. From the tree line, 3 dark shapes moved like lightning. "Federal agents. Drop your weapons." Pop, pop, pop. 3 flashbangs detonated in the gravel. In the chaos, the agents swarmed in, tackling the first man so hard his fake badge skittered across the dirt. The second agent slammed another against the SUV, while a third ripped the gun off the leader's belt before he could even unclip it. The entire takedown lasted less than 10 seconds. I pulled Lily behind me as the real agents cuffed the intruders. The lead FBI agent turned to me. "You and your daughter okay?" I nodded, barely able to speak. The imposters kept shouting as they were dragged away. "We're enforcing the rules. We were told to bring her in." One agent snapped back. "The only thing you're enforcing is a federal prison sentence." Later that night, the FBI briefed us. These weren't random HOA volunteers. They were part of a self-styled community compliance task force that had escalated from harassment to outright kidnapping attempts. The Bureau had been tracking them for months, waiting for them to try something extreme. They just didn't expect it to happen in front of my barn. All 3 men were charged with impersonating law enforcement, conspiracy to kidnap a minor, and use of a firearm in a crime. The next morning, Lily hugged me and whispered, "I never want to leave the cabin again." We've since added cameras, locked gates, and a sign at the front drive that reads, "Private property. No HOA jurisdiction. FBI case closed." And every time I see those black SUVs on the news during court coverage, I remember the look on their faces when they realized they hadn't come to a ranch. They'd walked straight into a federal sting.